Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the wild and wacky final 40 hours of my monthly fundraiser, where I raise my rent and bills through your contributions and donations. Yeah, it's a wild business model, but I've been doing it for 3 years and it works every time, although this time it looks like I'm going to need a giant miracle. Let me remind you, every dollar helps and every big donation helps get me closer. I will leave the PayPal link in the information box, and I will also link it in the comments below. So I've done a great job for 6 years and an amazing job in 2018. So hopefully you guys will keep me around because I bring you a lot of good information. Now let's get to that good information. I'm in Houston, Texas. I just went and picked up my car. It had broken down on Christmas night when I went to get a hug from SMG. And instead I ended up with the dead car. The good news, it cost me $45 to fix it. So that is excellent news. And it was ponding and flooding in some areas, nothing too bad, though we have more rain on the way for the next 36 hours. We are watching this giant system here as it is pouring moisture straight up into Mexico, Texas, and then it'll go through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and then out the East Coast. So that's the situation we're dealing with. And so here, this is 6 hours from now. Well, this is 6 hours from now. As you can see, we've got moisture, more rain. This is 18 hours from now. It is still raining. 24 hours from now, it is still raining over a large portion of Texas. We get back into the freezy, sleety area. And then it doesn't actually clear out of Texas for 42 hours. So pretty much the rain clears out when my fundraiser ends. So that's interesting, right? And on top of that, one of the reasons I am concerned is, as you can see, we have a lot of rivers flooding, 168 right now, because some of these rivers are no longer flooding, but we'll be adding to that overnight as a lot of the flooded rivers are in East Texas. And you guys are going to be getting the bulk of the rain. Let's go ahead and take a look at it now. Yeah, so as you can see, I mean, a lot of areas, not just Texas. This storm is affecting many places, and we'll be tracking back over those high river levels all over. So this storm is now affecting everywhere from San Antonio all the way through Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, and it will continue to rotate over that giant high system that I've been watching in the Caribbean. That's kind of been freaking me out, man. Let's watch it. We can freak out together. Oh, maybe it calmed down. Did it? I guess it did. But this is the heat and the dryness that is being pumped up and is pushing our circular area and pushing. Why are they so different? Okay, so this is the circular area. See, the dryness dragon is back. The volcano range is here. The volcano range is here. This always feels like moving magma to me. As you can see, this is water vapor, and the amount of moisture is being pumped up into the Gulf states is problematic. And I'm watching this area for possible volcanic and earthquake activity. Now, this is the next 48 hours. And so this reconfirms that we will be getting a mixed precipitation storm over Texas and the entire Gulf, which will then explode out into a low over the East Coast again. This is definitely not our first rodeo. This is like our 100th rodeo. But as these rodeos combined, so do the flooding river levels. And as I mentioned before, rain is tracking over a lot of these spots. And a lot of these rivers will interconnect. And these areas are already saturated and soaked. So if you are east of the Woodlands, you're pretty much on high alert. You do not want to get involved in river flooding. If you hear of any problems, please take them seriously. And now we're taking a second look at a second radar, just because that helps. But as you can see, I think we're going to get some more mixed precipitation issues in North Texas tonight and up into Oklahoma. Now we're looking at our giant mean sea level pressure spot, which the models had it breaking up into 4 parts. That did not happen. It has now gone further north and has created a mishmash. And so we will be watching the West Coast, because that was another area of concern. Let us go through on the models and look at, and so I've heard there are some militant snow weenies in the East Coast where they literally set people on fire if they get snow totals wrong. And so right now it seems like the meteorologists are safe because it looks like a rain event, though these events tend to increase as they get closer, and that wouldn't hit until Sunday. What is it, Wednesday? And so this whole storm will then move out and up and out. But here's what I'm concerned is we're going to start getting moisture from the same plume. That moisture, instead of be entering North Pacific, will be entering the South Baja area. And so if you get two moisture streams combined, it's going to be pretty nasty weather in about a week. And we're looking at some pretty heavy storms hitting the Pacific again and Northern California. And they've been taking a beating these last few months. Like, look at that. That's a lot of rain, dude. It's more rain. And look at that whole storm hoses down all of the West Coast. So 2018 was a wild, wild weather look. And there's no reason to think that 2019 will be any different. And especially if you're new here, one of the theories I've looked at is called planetary orbital angular momentum. It's because planets mass, they've weight, they've frequency, and so their positions matter. And I've tracked back, and anytime you had all the gas giants on the same side, we get activity, we get extra earthquake activity on Earth. We're talking the 1800s, when all the major planets are on the same side, we get heavy volcano and earthquake activity. And in the last 34 days, we have had 5 magnitude 7 earthquakes or larger. And you've been seeing Mount Etna, Indonesia, Russia, Japan. The volcanoes have been extremely active. So we are now out on the flank. And I don't think the weather will calm down until Jupiter gets around here, which is 6 more years. Science likes to look at the carbon and only carbon, which is why I sometimes can predict storms 2 weeks out, and they can just tell you carbon, carbon, carbon. Okay, and so we also have a large Earth-facing coronal hole that let out a solar flare B28 class. We can watch right here go pop, pow, snap, crackle, pop, boom. It may or may not be geoeffective, meaning it may or may not hit Earth. But I think it'll graze it, and no matter what, we're going to get a lot of fast solar wind. And I wouldn't be surprised until this thing passes and the fast wind passes, we are on a +1 earthquake watch. Now, take a look at the loops for our friend over in the pond. Yeah, so I think we're going to get some flooding problems in Texas and Louisiana for sure. And I think the United Kingdom is under a cold, freezy freeze thing, so you guys are going to be getting some snow. Some areas will be getting heavy snow. But luckily, the high pressure is either knocking it north of y'all or knocking it down into Spain. Except for later in the week. And all these models have been changing nightly, daily. They're not very trustable. Now looking at our earthquakes, Mother Earth seems to be semi-calm at the moment, which can be good, or it can mean that she's building pressure. And so this is near the volcano, This is kind of an odd spot in Russia that is off the ring of fire that's near volcano. These are near volcano ranges, near volcano. And so we're getting a lot of activity in the Caribbean, and the islands are pretty much all volcanoes. They're all made. That's how the islands were made. It's crazy, I know. Learn stuff. That's why good to be here. But yes, this is the last 48 hours of Thor News fundraiser. I'm going to be diversifying my action. Machine gunning videos out at you. And that's exciting. So yeah, the weather has calmed down a bit. That is good news, but it usually goes in waves and pulses in this wave after wave after wave section. my brain even working properly? I don't know. And here's the thing, is like 2 nights ago, it had California just getting hit again and again and again by rain, and then it backed way off. But as you can see, there's some crazy crap going on with the pressure, the moisture. And so there is going to be a lot of moisture in the Pacific. It's a matter of where is it going to end up. Some places it basically just evaporates it. Like, look at that thing. And then it splits it into 2, and then it pushes it into oblivion. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. So we'll just have to keep watching and paying attention. But the wind situation and whatever is going on up by the northern edge of the Ring of Fire is pretty wild, bro. It's super wild, dude. Like, look at that. What is even happening? What is going on? And I know a lot of meteorologists are talking about how all the snow weenies are upset because there's not a lot of snow. And that could be because of all the volcanoes. Do you have a volcano range here? Volcano range here? I don't know. The Earth's core is magma. So pretty much anywhere on the planet is a potential volcano. And this is one of the areas I've been monitoring where around the 9th we would get a big storm type out at the East Coast, and then we have the 2 major ones come a-running. I mean, that's over 100 miles an hour winds. So it is, wow, look at those Wolverine claw stripes in there. Yeah, so the weather's going to get wild again. Look at this. Those 2 giant, massive hurricane-looking things. All near the upper half of the volcano ranges of the Ring of Fire. Love is a burning thing. Oh my God, I think I'm going to sneeze. I can't. I would be a bad creator if I sneezed on the air. Okay, so this is your 4 p.m. update to the situations that are going on. And like I mentioned before, we got about 40 more hours of rain in Texas. And so everybody just be ready. I don't think it'll be like super major trouble, but I think we are going to get some flooding trouble and definitely some river flooding trouble. So everybody just stay on top of it as all of this moisture moves around the hot volcano spot. Okay? And then we're getting some weird like second sun flash. Did I show it from the other one? Where'd it go? Did you see that? No, not you. Okay. Watch this. And then you get the pow. What was that? Did the sun get all extra bright in SDOE? Who knows? But I guess we shall find out. All right, so everybody stay cool, stay dry. Give somebody you love a hug today. And if you appreciate all the work I've done, pretty please contribute and donate to Thor News, because I've been doing what I can to bring you guys pure awesomeness every day. I'll leave my PayPal link in the information box and in the comments. You guys stay cool, and I will talk to you in the near future.